So you were just saying that Christ didn't die on the cross, which is a big thing for Christian religion.
Oh, it's the only thing. It's what makes Christianity and Catholicism is that Christ died on the cross for us, and that's why we need to follow those religions. Now, Christ never died in the cross, and you might call me crazy, you might call me whatever, but it's the truth. So I can be crazy as long as I know the truth. But the truth is, Christ, they don't talk about him much when he was a teenager. They talk about him when he was a kid and when he was crucified. Well, Christ studied in India, and he was had Buddhist knowledge.
I've heard that, but would it be possible for him to get over to India?
Yeah, through the Silk Road, and most of the lost tribes of Israel are what now live through what was the Silk Road of Afghanistan, parts of Iraq, parts of Iran, and Pakistan, and all the way up to it's northern India. I'm not too sure, but it's where Christ ended up living and dying. And there's an actual place where this man, they call him by a different name, but it was Christ because
we're playing soccer as we go. That'll
the miracles that he did were the same. So when he went back to India, he had his temple. He was a great man. He had his family, and he died. And there's this place where he was buried. And in that place, there's a place where they took a cast of his feet, and his feet showed the wounds he would have from the crucifixion. So when Jesus was crucified, it was normal to crucify someone, put them up in that cross for many days. Most of them wouldn't die for many days. And Christ was only put up for a day because the Jews wanted to bring him down because they were going to have their day where they don't do anything. And so they put him up for a couple hours, and they brought him down. Now, when they brought him down, supposedly they pronounced him dead, but that's not the real truth. That's just what they want you to know. Now, he never died, and when they wrapped him, his followers snuck him out of Jerusalem, and he went back to India. Now, most people don't know this truth and won't believe it because they have been fed other lies, which is what everyone else believes. But that is what rules the world right now. Now, when you look at what year you live in, you're living under Christian rule. So that means they won the war. Whatever war that was, they won it because you live in a year 2017. Now, that year is a made-up number because it's really just a number after Christ. So they want you to live in a certain day at a certain time and do all the things.
Man-made time.
Man-made time. Now tell me, if they have made this up, what won't they do? How far won't they go?
You're going back to the flat earth, aren't you?
I was going back to the flat earth. So how far won't they go if they can hide all this truth and knowledge and spread lies throughout the world? Like when you do your research like I have, I found out that Christ was a Buddhist and he lived many years in India. So much so that the meditation people, the priests or whatever, they envied him so much in certain places that he grew so much. That's why he healed so quickly. But when they found him alive, or they said, oh, he resurrected, he never resurrected, he just never died. And most people would take days to die on the cross. Now, they just had him up there for a couple hours. You're telling me someone that could heal and do all these miracles died in a couple hours? There's no way. Especially after this proof of him being in India after the fact that he was crucified. Well, he was crucified, but after the fact that he resurrected and everything, he never died. So you do your own research, which has been out there, it's hiding, just out there waiting. And then you find out the truth. Now, he goes by a different name in India, but it's the same guy. And the way he got there was through the Silk Road, which many people followed that road. And it's not crazy or to think that maybe he didn't go back to where he came from in the first place, because he did a lot of his teaching or a lot of his studying in India. And a lot of what he preaches and what a lot of what Christians preach has a lot of Buddhism in it. So it just all makes sense. When you add 2 and 2, it's 4. So that's what makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you. If you don't believe it, it's probably because you got all this junk in your head that you can't get out. But the more research you do, the more you open your mind to all this, you find out it's the truth. And Christ, I believe in Christ, but I don't necessarily believe in religion. Christ wasn't a white man. He was a brown man with a lot of knowledge, and when he was trying to preach his knowledge to his people weren't ready for it, like most people aren't ready now. So he just decided to dipset before he got murked again.
Did you just use NLP to make yourself Christ? he just made himself Christ, I'm gonna stand over here so I don't get hit by lightning. Okay, we'll end that right now. Yes.